My son, my daughter, stop right now. Don't close your eyes. Don't fall asleep just yet. What you're feeling at this very moment, that restlessness in your soul, that tightness in your throat that won't let you breathe in peace, is not your imagination. You didn't arrive at this message by chance or through an algorithm. It was I, your father, who paused time on your screen to reach you before it's too late. The enemy would smile if you walked away without hearing this, because he knows that tonight, in the silence of your room while the world sleeps, a sentence is being prepared against you. A trap is being set in the invisible realm. But my love for you moves faster than his schemes. That's why I speak to you with urgency, with a voice that cuts through the noise of the world to whisper directly into your spirit. Wake up. You've been walking in silence, carrying doubts you don't even know how to explain. You've tried to maintain control, to pretend everything is fine, but inside you there's a heaviness you can't name. You smile on the outside, but inside you're fighting not to collapse. And I know every part of that war. You felt the air around you grow heavy, as if your soul is being pulled into a nameless sadness, a weariness without cause. Do you think that's normal? Oh, my child. It's the echo of a spiritual war that has already begun against you. And this word is your only alarm bell before midnight. I'm calling you back from the edge of the abyss. This is not a game. What's at stake is more than you realize. Your peace, your home, your future, and the purpose I designed for you before you were born. The enemy wants you to ignore this message, to treat it like any other, to say, "I'll listen tomorrow." But there won't be a tomorrow for this specific warning. It's now or never. Your salvation from what's coming is contained in the words I'm about to reveal. So I beg you, don't ignore me. Don't fall asleep without receiving the full instruction. Tonight is not an ordinary night. A shadow is approaching, a threat calculated and directed toward you. And I need you to understand the true nature of this tragedy before its effects become irreversible. What you're feeling now, that subtle fear, that strange premonition that something bad is about to happen, is just the beginning. Listen with your whole soul, because that feeling is not anxiety or worldly stress. It's your spirit perceiving the shadow of a great tragedy drawing near. This shadow doesn't make noise when it arrives. It doesn't break down the door. It slips through the cracks of unhealed wounds, through the doubts you let grow in silence, through the exhaustion that lowered your guard. Its first goal is isolation. It makes you feel invisible, as if your prayers bounce off the ceiling and never reach me. It whispers that I'm too far, too busy, or worse, disappointed in you. It's a slow poison that cools your faith, drains the color from your days, and convinces you the fight isn't worth it anymore. Why do you feel like time is slipping away? Why do the hours feel like they're escaping your grasp? Because your spirit, connected directly to me, is sensing the urgency of heaven. The great tragedy is not a physical event. It's not a global catastrophe you'll see on the news. It's something far more intimate and devastating. It's the final plan of darkness to steal your purpose, to make you give up on your calling 1 second before your miracle manifests. It's the enemy's desperate attempt to convince you I've abandoned you, so you'll let go of my hand right at the threshold of your victory. He knows your harvest is ready. He knows the end of your desert is just a few steps away. That's why he's unleashed this final, furious offensive. He's tried to sow chaos in your home, confusion in your mind, and oppression in your chest, so you'll drown in despair and say, "I can't take this anymore." He wants you to collapse at the finish line. But what he didn't know, what he failed to calculate in his arrogance, is that your silent cry wasn't just heard. It triggered an emergency in heaven. From my throne, I've already sent a response. A warrior has been dispatched. A prince of my army is descending with a speed that tears through the heavens, and his sole mission is you. His name has already been spoken in the heavenly corridors in connection with yours. Yes, his name is Michael, Archangel Michael, my battle warrior, the one who fights for you when you have no strength left. Don't think this is a routine movement in heaven. This was an emergency order. I spoke your name in the courts of heaven. Yes, your name, The same one you sometimes whisper with doubt when you pray, the one others may have forgotten or used to wound you. I spoke it with purpose, and when I did, all of heaven moved. Archangel Michael insisted on seeing you. He asked permission to speak to you, to protect you. Because when one of my bravest angels insists like that, it means something very serious is happening in the spiritual realm around you. He didn't descend gently. He came with his sword drawn, with direct orders from my voice to protect what is precious to me, your life. Michael doesn't descend for just any reason. He is a warrior, a protector, a messenger for key battles. And if I sent him to you today with such urgency, it's because heaven is defending you from something you don't even know is threatening you. It's because the enemy tried to touch something that belongs to me. And you, my child, you belong to me. This descent is not for a nation or a crowd. It's for you. I was the one who said, go to him. Deliver the message. If you felt the weight in your chest begin to lift in the last few minutes, if the thought of hope crossed your mind out of nowhere, if you suddenly felt a strange calm in the middle of chaos, it's not your mind trying to comfort you. It's the effect of his arrival. It's Michael establishing a perimeter of protection around you. He's already fighting for you. What was binding you is already breaking. The lies planted in your mind are already falling. His presence is shifting the atmosphere right now. But for you to grasp the magnitude of this battle, I need to give you heaven's diagnosis. I need you to see clearly the invisible war that's been stealing your peace, your sleep, and your strength. What you've been calling anxiety, bad luck, or just a rough day has a name and a spiritual origin. That origin, my child, is war. A silent, invisible, but very real war declared against your peace. This is heaven's diagnosis. You're not fighting people or circumstances. You are under attack from a spiritual force that rose up to block what I had already released over your life. Think back over the past days and weeks. That strange, unexplainable fatigue that overwhelms you. That pressure in your chest that comes out of nowhere. Those confusing thoughts and strange dreams that rob you of rest. Do you think it's a coincidence that the project that once flowed is now completely stalled? Or that the door that seemed secure suddenly slammed shut without explanation? You've seen friendships grow cold, relationships become tense, and conflicts arise out of nowhere in your own home. This is not bad luck. This is not a coincidence. They are arrows launched in the dead of night. Cursed words spoken in secret by those who envy you silently, wishing for your downfall. The goal of this war is not to kill you, but to paralyze you, to drain your strength, your faith, and your courage. It is a calculated attack designed to wear you down emotionally, spiritually, and physically until you convince yourself that it's no longer worth fighting. Until you look in the mirror and believe the lie that you are the problem. But while all of this was happening, while you felt the world spinning faster for everyone else and you remained stuck, I was watching you. I saw every tear you shed into your pillow when no one else was near. I was there in that moment when your soul broke in silence. And none of those battles were in vain. They were the proof that showed heaven and hell that even under the fiercest attack, your heart still belongs to me. That is precisely why this war has found you. You are not a random target. The enemy does not invest so much effort in someone insignificant. He has been watching you, studying you, observing your vulnerabilities, your fears, and your deepest longings, because he sees something in you that terrifies him. A mark. A hidden seal you've carried since birth, and heaven is about to activate it. That mark, my child, is not a curse. It is the seal of my purpose over your life. Before you were born, I looked upon you and placed within you a potential that unsettles the darkness. I gave you gifts, talents, sensitivity, and strength that, once activated, can shift atmospheres and break chains. This is the hidden mark you carry. It's invisible to human eyes, but in the spiritual realm, it shines like a beacon, and the enemy saw it. That's why he's been studying you. He's tracked your steps in silence. He's taken note of your wounds, the words that scarred you, the people who betrayed you. He's analyzed your deepest fears, your emptiness, and your most sincere desires to use them against you. But because the enemy knows your potential. He knows the anointing I've poured over your life. That's why he's attacked you so intensely. He's not attacking who you are today, he's attacking who you're about to become. He fears what you carry within. He trembles at what I'm about to do through you. He knows that if you discover your true calling, you will become a threat to his kingdom of darkness. That's why he's tried to halt your progress, weaken your hope, and bury your gifts. He's used people close to you to wound you. He's placed you in situations meant to tarnish your image, exhaust your soul, and break your spirit. He's thrown doubts at you, whispering that you're not enough, that you've failed too many times, that it's too late. He's marked you with thoughts of guilt, shame, and fear, hoping you would unknowingly accept those lies as your identity. He's studied every logical path, every door you might try to open on your own. He knows your patterns, your reactions, your human escapes. He's laid traps along every path the world would offer as a solution. And it's precisely because he thinks he knows all your possible exits that I've prepared one he cannot foresee. A way out that defies logic, that breaks the rules of this world. It is your only safe option, because every other path has already been compromised. My child, that one way out is not a place. It's a decision. It's a path that goes against everything your logic screams and everything the world advises. The enemy, in his study of you, has set traps on every other road. The first trap is your own strength. He whispers, "You can do this alone. Try one more time. You don't need anyone." And while you exhaust yourself trying to fix with your own hands what only faith can move, he feeds off your frustration and fatigue until you collapse. The second trap is the voices of the world. You've sought advice from people who love you but lack spiritual discernment. They say, "Forget it. Don't exaggerate. Be realistic." Their words, though seemingly logical, are void of my spirit and have only planted more seeds of doubt and bitterness in your soul. What you call friendship, I sometimes call an open door to the enemy. The third trap is distraction. The enemy delights when you try to drown your pain in the noise of routine, endless tasks, or fleeting pleasures that leave you emptier than before. Each of these paths seems like a temporary fix, but they all lead to the same place, farther from me and closer to the tragedy he has planned. That's why your only way out is the one the world calls madness. It is the path of surrender. It's not about fighting harder. It's about ceasing to fight in your own strength so I can fight for you. It's not about understanding everything. It's about trusting me even when nothing makes sense. It's about closing your ears to the voices outside so you can hear the whisper of my spirit within. This is the door Archangel Michael has come to open. A path of radical obedience, of faith that doesn't need to see to believe. I'm not offering you one option among many. I'm showing you the only door hell cannot guard, because it opens from within with your yes. But this door and this path come with an initial condition. It is a sacred and delicate movement that must begin in secret. You cannot share it yet, not with just anyone. Now I will reveal why your silence in this stage is your greatest weapon of protection. This silence, I ask of you, my child, is not to hide you. It is to protect you. It is the protection of prophetic silence. What I am planting in your spirit now is a sacred seed, something alive, delicate, and powerful. And every seed needs time in the darkness of the soil to germinate, far from curious eyes and feet that might trample it. If you share this revelation too soon, you risk it being contaminated by hardened hearts, closed minds, and tongues that lack reverence. You've been wounded before. You trusted people who didn't value your words. You showed your faith to those who only knew how to mock. You shared dreams that were destroyed by others' unbelief. I saw it all. That's why this time I will protect what I'm giving you. There's also a strategic reason. The enemy cannot read my thoughts, but he can hear what you say. If you speak before the miracle is fully established, you give the adversary information to try and sabotage the divine plan. That's why I urge you to guard this word in your heart like a hidden treasure. Do you remember Mary, my servant? When she received the greatest news in history, she didn't run to announce it in the streets. Scripture says she treasured all these things, pondering them in her heart. She understood that the sacred is first conceived in silence before it is revealed in glory. You don't need anyone's approval for what you're experiencing. You don't need to explain yourself. You only need to believe and protect what has been entrusted to you. What you're receiving is exclusive, something I don't share with just anyone. You sought me, waited for me, believed in me, and now you are being honored with access to the secrets of heaven. There will come a time to speak, a time to testify, a time to shout from the rooftops what I am doing to you. But that time is not today. Today is a day to receive and to guard. What you don't yet know is that this entire celestial movement, this emergency descent of Michael, this urgent word that stopped you, did not begin with my initiative. It was a response to something you did in the solitude of your room, a cry you thought no one heard. My child, that cry wasn't made of words, it was made of tears. The tears you shed into your pillow when no one else was near were not ignored. I saw every one of them. I saw you when you stayed silent to avoid worrying your family, when you swallowed your pain to remain strong. I saw your sleepless nights, your worries hidden behind a tired smile. I saw your fight to keep going even when everything inside you told you to stop. You thought no one noticed that you were completely alone in your anguish, but I was there. What the world calls weakness, heaven calls prayer. Your tears were silent petitions. They were the cries of your soul rising directly to my throne like the purest incense. There were things you didn't even know how to ask me with words. You simply wept, you simply felt, and yet I understood perfectly. You don't need eloquent prayers to touch my heart. You only need sincerity. And your pain was the most authentic prayer you've made in a long time. That broken cry activated a heavenly emergency. It wasn't your strength, it was your surrender. In the exact moment you whispered, "I can't do this anymore," my power was mobilized on your behalf. Every tear that fell to the ground was not lost. It was a seed. Your tears were not weakness, they were sowing. And where there is sowing with tears, I have promised a harvest of joy. Heaven moved for you because a broken and humble heart I will never despise. Your hidden cry was the signal I had been waiting for to intervene with all my glory. And because your cry was so pure and so desperate, the response I sent is not just a word of comfort. I didn't send Archangel Michael only to protect you. I sent him with a specific instruction for you, a divine order that you must carry out tonight. It is an act of faith that will break the spell that bound you and release the victory your tears have purchased. Listen now. This is what you must do before the clock strikes midnight. My child, listen carefully. Michael's instruction is simple in form, but its power to break the chains that bind you is immense. You don't need candles, oils, or elaborate rituals. You only need your faith and your voice. Before midnight, before this day ends, I want you to stand where you are, or kneel if your heart leads you. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and speak this phrase aloud, not as a request but as a decree. Say with authority, "In the name of the one who sent me this message, I renounce fear, I release control, and I hand this battle over to Archangel Michael. My war is over because heaven now fights for me." Why before midnight? Because midnight is a spiritual threshold. By doing this, you are prophetically declaring that the cycle of pain that pursued you today will not cross into the new day. You are drawing a spiritual bloodline that the enemy cannot cross. This act, my child, is your official yes to heaven. It is your faith activating the power of heaven that has already been set in motion for you. Your agreement with me cancels every legal right the enemy had to touch your life, your home, and your finances. When you declare with your mouth what you believe in your heart, you give Archangel Michael earthly authorization to execute the heavenly order with all his fury and power. Do not do it with doubt. Do not whisper it with fear. Raise your voice even if you are alone. Feel the weight of every word. As you speak, you are not just talking into the air. You are speaking directly to the spiritual realm. You are notifying hell that its time of operating in your life has ended, and you are reminding heaven that you accept your salvation. Do this and you will feel the shift in the atmosphere. But I want you to understand the depth of what you are doing. This act of faith is not just to save you from sadness, scarcity, or loneliness. It is to rescue you from the true great tragedy, a spiritual catastrophe the enemy meticulously prepared for you, far worse than you ever imagined. Now that you've accepted the instruction, you are ready to know its true name. My child, listen closely. This is the heart of the message. The truth hell never wanted you to know. The great tragedy the enemy planned for you is not what you think. It's not a financial ruin. It's not a terminal illness. It's not a fatal accident. Not even the permanent breakup of your family. Those are just the tools he uses, the stage he sets, for the real and silent catastrophe. The true tragedy, the one that would make hell smile, is the slow death of your soul. It's the loss of your purpose. It's reaching the end of your days and realizing you survived, but never truly lived the abundant life I created for you. It's becoming so accustomed to pain, scarcity, and doubt that you forget the mark of my calling on your spirit. The tragedy is that your faith fades without you noticing, that your hope weakens until it disappears, and that your gifts remain buried under a mountain of "I can't, I'm not worthy, and it's too late." The enemy's plan was never to destroy you in one blow. It was to wear you down day by day. He used the words of those you love to plant insecurity. He used your failures to convince you I had discarded you. He surrounded you with noise and distractions so you couldn't hear my voice. His goal was to lead you into spiritual anesthesia, where you no longer fight, no longer cry out, no longer dream. You simply exist in a prison of resignation. That, my child, is true spiritual death, and you were just steps away from it. But your cry and your obedience to Michael's instruction have completely dismantled that plan. You have been rescued from the edge of that spiritual abyss. And now, to seal that salvation and begin reversing all the damage the shadow caused in you, I will give you the code. A key word, a salvation code you must repeat tonight before you sleep. A key that will not only close the door to tragedy forever, but open the door to your immediate restoration. It is renewal for your mind, to cleanse every thought of doubt and defeat the enemy has planted. It is renewal for your heart, to heal the wounds that made you believe you were unworthy of love. It is renewal for your strength, a divine breath over the exhaustion that has kept you paralyzed. And it is renewal for your purpose, reactivating the gifts and dreams you thought were long dead. Tonight, just before sleep overtakes you, when everything is quiet, close your eyes. Don't speak from your mind, whisper from your soul. Place your hand over your heart to feel the truth of your declaration and softly say 3 times, "Renewal, renewal, renewal." Feel the peace I send begin to fill your heart with calm. Don't analyze. Don't doubt. Just receive. This is your salvation code, the signal heaven has been waiting for to confirm that you've accepted this rescue. As you whisper this word, you're not just praying, you're activating your guardian. You're giving Archangel Michael the signal to begin the second phase of his mission. And while you sleep, he will respond to your declaration, covering you with an armor of light, a celestial protection that will surround you. In the moment your spirit whispers renewal, a command will be executed in the heavens. You won't feel it with your skin, but with your soul. Archangel Michael, responding to your faith, will cover you as you rest. But this armor is not made of metal, my child. It is woven from my own light. First, he will place upon your mind the helmet of my peace. Every mental stronghold, every toxic and confusing thought, every nightmare and accusation the enemy prepared to torment you will be blocked and neutralized. While you sleep, Michael will surround your mind, shielding it from the arrows the enemy launches into your thoughts. Then he will gird your heart with the breastplate of my righteousness, protecting your emotions from guilt, shame, and condemnation. You will no longer feel unworthy in your rest. In his hand, he will raise the shield of faith to extinguish every arrow of doubt or fear aimed at your home in the night. And with his sword drawn, not to harm but to liberate, he will cut every negative spiritual tie that tries to drain your energy while you sleep. There are battles you could not fight alone, but tonight you won't fight at all. You will rest. My army and I will fight for you. The enemy loves the night to sow terror, to infiltrate doubts and fears that bloom with the light of day. But tonight your room will become a sanctuary. Your rest will not be a mere pause. It will be a prophetic act, a declaration of trust that silences the adversary. While you sleep, heaven will stand guard over you. No more nights of torment or insomnia. Your rest will be peaceful like that of a child. Rest, my son. Rest, my daughter. For the Prince of my heavenly army stands watch at your door. And this protection is not just a comforting feeling. It is a real spiritual operation that will leave evidence. It will not vanish with the sunrise. In the morning and in the days to come, you will begin to see tangible signs that the tragedy has been diverted from your life and your home. Now I will teach you how to recognize those signs, how to see the invisible. My child, open the eyes of your spirit wide, for I will show you the footprints of this victory. Heaven's intervention is never without consequence. It leaves clear signs for those who know how to look. The first thing you'll notice in the coming hours and days is a shift in the atmosphere of your home. That heaviness, that oppression, that dense air that made you feel tired and restless will begin to lift. You'll feel the environment becoming lighter, cleaner. The tension that lingered in the rooms will give way to a calm you won't be able to explain. It is my presence purifying your space. Watch the people around you. Don't be surprised if some who were constant sources of conflict and negativity begin to drift away without any clear reason. Don't stop them. I am doing the cleansing myself, removing those who cannot walk with you into this new season. Your peace is my priority. Where there was stagnation, there was movement. Doors that have been closed for years will suddenly open. Projects that were inexplicably stalled will receive divine momentum. You'll receive unexpected calls, news you weren't waiting for, answers you had stopped seeking. What the enemy blocked, I am now releasing with force. And finally, you will begin to see signs where you once saw only coincidences. A message arriving at just the right moment, a word of encouragement from a stranger, a solution appearing out of nowhere. I am orchestrating the details to show you that I am in control and that I have never let go of your hand. These are the external signs, the visible evidence that the tragedy has been diverted. They are proof of an invisible battle that was won on your behalf. But the greatest and most powerful sign of all will not be seen with your eyes or heard with your ears. You will feel it within you, and you will feel it with unmistakable clarity when you open your eyes tomorrow morning. Let me reveal now what will feel different when you wake. My son, my daughter. Tomorrow, when the first light of day touches your window, even before you fully open your eyes, you will notice the change. It won't be a sound. It won't be an event. It will be an absence. The absence of that weight on your chest that had become your constant companion. The absence of the anguish that greeted you each morning like an old acquaintance. The absence of the whirlwind of confusing thoughts and accusations that never let you rest. For the first time in a very, very long time, you will wake up in silence. A silence that is not emptiness, but peace. A peace that does not come from the world. A peace that surpasses all understanding. And in that silence, you will feel something new being born within you. A serene yet irresistible strength will begin to rise inside you. It is not worldly excitement that comes and goes. It is the unmistakable certainty of my spirit. You will feel a clarity in your mind that you had forgotten existed. The problems will still be there, but they will no longer have the power to steal your calm. You will feel the desire to dream again, a hope that does not depend on circumstances but on my presence. Yes, the weeping may last for a night, but the joy I bring always arrives in the morning. This, my child, is the dawn of your victory, because true victory is not measured by what changes outside, but by what is restored within. The enemy wanted to kill your soul, but I have resurrected it tonight while you slept under Michael's guard. You will rise, and a beautiful feeling will cover you from head to toe. You are no longer the same version of yourself that entered this crisis. Now you carry anointing. You carry fire. You carry the truth. This new dawn is my gift to you, the irrefutable proof that my word is real and my power is absolute. It is the beginning of your new story. And to seal this new covenant, to officially close the door to the past and walk boldly into your future, I invite you now to join me in a final prayer. a prayer not of request but of possession and prophetic sealing. My son, my daughter, close your eyes and join me. Repeat these words not just with your mouth, but with the full strength of your spirit, because this is your declaration of freedom and possession. Say with me, Beloved Father, God of truth and unfailing love, today I come before you without masks, without defenses, just as I am, tired, wounded, broken inside, yet with an open heart for you to do what only you can do. Thank you for never letting go of me even when I felt all was lost. Thank you for sending this word in time and for the rescue through Archangel Michael. Today I understand that the silence surrounding me was not abandonment. It was formation. I've tried to fight in my own strength and failed. I've searched for escape in paths that were traps. But tonight, with all the conviction in my being, I choose heaven's way. I release, Lord, I release fear, control, pride, and the pain that made me feel I had something to prove to the world. I no longer want to carry a battle that was never mine. Fight for me, my God. Break what must be broken and build in me a new life that reflects your glory. I receive the code of renewal in my spirit. I receive the armor of light over my soul. I accept your protection and your peace. I declare that the great tragedy of spiritual death has been canceled in my life by the power of your love. From this moment forward, my life no longer belongs to me. It is yours, completely yours. Use me, heal me, restore me. From this new dawn, I walk as a child of victory, not as a survivor of war. I seal this prayer in your name, Father. My child, with this prayer, the seal has been placed. The door to the past has been locked with a spiritual key. But this seal is not the end. It is the beginning. I did not rescue you from tragedy just so you could live in peace at home. I rescued you for a purpose. I saved you so that you could now become salvation for others. Listen carefully, your mission begins now. Now that you've been sealed and rescued, your life enters a new dimension. You are no longer a victim fleeing tragedy. You are a beacon of my light in the midst of the storm. Your mission is not to hide and protect your peace. It is to be my peace for others. I did not heal you so you could tuck your testimony away in a drawer. No, your story of pain and rescue is now your most powerful weapon. What once wounded you will be the very thing that opens doors for others still trying to rise. Your life will be a living testimony of my faithfulness. That's why I ask you not to keep your salvation to yourself. There are thousands like you right now, on the edge, feeling the same shadow, hearing the same lies from the enemy, thinking of giving up tonight. Your obedience in sharing this message is not just a click. It is an act of spiritual warfare. It is throwing a lifeline to someone who is drowning. If you felt my presence, if this word touched you, share this message now with someone you know is in battle. Become the channel of salvation I used to reach you. Every time you click like, it is an amen that echoes in heaven. Every comment where you declare your faith is a brick in the wall of protection for this community of warriors. And when you subscribe, you're not just following a channel. You're enlisting to receive the next divine instructions. Because this battle was won, but the war continues. You are light. You are salt. You are called to influence, not to hide. Take your place, but stay alert. The enemy has been defeated and humiliated, but not destroyed. He will regroup. And already, a new alert has sounded in heaven. The next battle has been announced in the heavenly courts, and to face it, you will need the next instruction. My son, my daughter, listen to this final word with utmost attention. Tonight's victory is real and it is yours. But in heaven, celebrations are brief because vigilance is eternal. The alert has already sounded. While Archangel Michael sealed your protection, the watchers of hell reported their defeat. The enemy now knows he cannot destroy you with a frontal attack of oppression and fear. So his next strategy will be more subtle, and therefore more dangerous. Deception. He will no longer attack your peace, he will try to seduce it. He will come disguised as an irresistible opportunity, as a quick answer to your prayers, through people who will present themselves as angels of light, offering paths that seem attractive but lead to darkness. The armor of light protects you from the terror of the night, but for the cunning of the day, You will need sharp discernment. What I gave you today is your salvation from past tragedy, but it is not the full armor you'll need for the future. There are traps already prepared along your path of blessing, and I will not let you walk into them unarmed. But do not fear. The instruction for this next battle has already been prepared. The strategy to unmask the enemy has already been written, and I will deliver it to you. I did not bring you this far to abandon you now. You are my warrior, and a good commander never sends his soldiers into battle without a map. So do not disconnect from heaven now. Don't think the message is over. This was only the rescue. The training to reign begins now. Right here on your screen, the next message is appearing. It is not a suggestion. It is the next instruction heaven prepared specifically for you. Click now because the next battle will not wait.